Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome to episode 67 of Europa Universalis IV. I find myself in the middle of a couple of wars, funnily enough, neither of which ones that I've started this time. Both of them are wars that my allies had gotten into. So, Brandenburg started attacking Sweden, and I jumped in on that because I didn't want to damage my relations with Brandenburg. And then the Commonwealth started a war against the Ottomans and the Crimea, and again, I didn't want to upset them, so I decided to jump in on that war as well. As a result, because I was involved in two wars, a coalition has now formed against us, which is a little bit of a pain. So, mainly Austria and Milan and Wurzburg. I fully expect Great Britain to jump in on that coalition, but they won't bother doing that until the truce with them ends. But I can certainly see that happening at some point. Not too concerned about it right at this minute. It's certainly going to be less of a problem once we get out of some of these wars. So let's hope it doesn't take too long for that to happen. So what we can do here, we can gain a stability, which is absolutely pointless because we're capped. Or we can lose 1,400 ducats, which is a lot. But until the end of the game, we get plus 2.5% yearly prestige and plus 0.5% legitimacy. Our legitimacy is capped, and while it would be nice to get the prestige, I don't actually want to spend that money right now. Because if the coalition triggers, I really might need to get some reinforcements in very, very quickly. Lose 50 admin power or 10 prestige. I'd rather not lose the prestige, and we've got plenty of admin power. Let's go and do that. Let's just have a look at our force limit. We are behind our force limit slightly. Now, we could go ahead. What do we have over here that makes this unit a bit bigger? We've got a 14-5 stack and so if we get 4 infantry and a cavalry and add them to one of these stacks, and that'll make us up to our limit. So, 4 infantry, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll grab another cavalry. Okay, fine. That'll put us up to our force limit, which again makes us look a little bit more scary to our potential enemies, and then they may decide not to attack. I'm certainly glad that I didn't go in and run headfirst into Castile, because if I'd have done that, things would have been very bad. This does give us a little bit of time to try and increase our military power. And our military tech. Now, we are ahead of time in military tech. How long is it going to take? Level 22 before we can get our next idea. And we're currently level 21. Now, we're quite a few years ahead of time on our admin tech. And in fact, currently, it would take us 1,315 power, which is impossible because we're capped at 999. But by the time we get there, that 14 years ahead of time will be a lot less. But when we get to admin tech level 22, then we can actually go ahead and do that. So what have we got over here? We've got some strange numbers. We've got a strange number of ships. We could do with a couple more transports and possibly 4 more heavies. Are they all mothballed? Yes, they are. So let's go and do that. So let's get 2 more transports and 4 more heavies just to round the numbers up. So that is 2 more transports and 1, 2, 3, 4 more heavies. And then we'll go back to making light ships. I do need to upgrade some of the fleets as well. But as I said, one of the main things is trying to save a little bit of money for mercenaries if we end up in a war. Truce has expired with Bremen and Saxony, so it's quite possible that they are now going to jump into the coalition against us. I was just going to say I thought we were still a unit short. There we go, Saxony's now entered into a coalition against us. Bavaria has ended. Truce has expired. Yeah, now these truces are expiring. Chances are a lot of these people are going to jump into a war with us, so we do have to be careful here. So now we can go ahead and grab some more of these coastal provinces. Let's go ahead and grab that one. It's a nice tax base of 3. We can move you in there. Let's go back home. Now, there's a good chance... There we go. There's more coalition. There's a much higher chance that the coalition is going to trigger while we're in some current wars. Now, if we're not in a war, they're less likely to attack us. We actually have a look at the coalition map mode now. It's probably going to look quite scary. So everything that's in red, basically, is against us. Some of these places are quite small, so they're not of terrible concern. And some of it will go away as the aggressive expansion burns away. That aggressive expansion will go down over time. Where are we? Aggressive expansion is going down by 2.5 yearly. It's not a massive amount, but it will go down. I think what we're also going to do is, as most likely any attack is going to come from the east, we're going to start moving some of our units over here and put them in some defensible positions. We don't have great defensive positions. We've got some woods. It's got grasslands. I'm surprised that's not mountains, actually. We do have some mountains that we could go and sit in if we really needed to, but I think we'll be fine for the time being. As long as we don't actually start taking anything, and as long as we don't lose too much in this war, I don't think we're actually going to have to worry about it triggering. But you never know. Have we capped out with Brandenburg? I'm sure you must have done by now. Improve relations by 100. Yeah, you might as well come back. I don't know what you are still doing there. Want to carry on improving relations with the Hesse. We are sort of really capped out with them anyway, so we should be able to annex them as time goes by. What about other relationships? Who do we want to keep relationships up with? Brandenburg, things are good. We're never going to be friends with Austria. Bavaria, you don't like me, but you don't hate me. Well, you're outraged, but if we go and improve relations with you, it might be enough to get you to leave the coalition. What about Milan? How much do you hate me? See, you hate me, but not by a huge amount. Maybe we can get Milan and Bavaria out of the coalition. And if the coalition starts to fall apart, it'll certainly make some of the other powers think about what they are going to do. We'll leave things at that for the time being, I think. We've got these guys up over here. There we go. We've got our transports now. So we will go and grab the 2 transports. We'll group you together. We'll mothball you, and then we'll group that whole lot together. Fantastic. So we've got our 3 trade fleets. They're all out doing what they should be doing. Still need 20 more lights for the Gulf of St. Lawrence trade fleet, but we can do that. So let's think about building a few more buildings. We can certainly afford to do that. One thing I haven't done for a while, and let's keep up with these places we've got down here. Let's try and keep their trade going. So do we have marketplaces on all of them? Yes. Do we have trade depots on all of them? No. Let's go ahead and get the trade depots on all of these. And what we want to attempt to do is try and get 50% of the trade power in this trade node. Speaking of trade, haven't looked at the trade map mode for a long time. This is the Ivory Coast node, which is obviously quite massive. We already have 18% of the trade power here, which is not bad at all. Let's have a look at where we've actually got our merchants. We've got 3 merchants at the moment. Now, our home trade node, our home node is here in the Champagne trade node. So we've got 84% of the trade power here. A little bit of it does go to Holland. Is it Holland? I think we've got most of the trade power here, but we are collecting anyway, so we'll collect from here automatically. And then where have we got the rest of our merchants? We've got 1 merchant who is collecting from the English Channel, which is not a bad idea, because some of our trade is going out into the English Channel. We do have a fairly decent pull into there. We have another one collecting from here. Now, I don't think we need to necessarily collect from here, because this we pretty much own, with the exception of 2 provinces. We pretty much own all of these. Now, you should be forwarding trade. Yeah, you're transferring trade power forwards, because some of it is being steered down into the Sevilla trade node, which, of course, we don't own. But we're trying to steer a lot of it back into Champagne. As everything is filtering in here, and we mainly own this node, I don't really think we need Philippe here. He might be better off somewhere pushing forwards. Maybe over here in Lubeck. So let's go to the Lubeck trade node, and we want to transfer trade power and use Philippe. So we'll just unpause that. It'll take him a few days to arrive. And now he's there, and he's going to push some of the trade forward towards the English Channel, which we are patrolling from and we're collecting from as well. So we're making decent money. I'm not too worried about trade. The trade game isn't something that I try to min-max. As far as I'm concerned, as long as I'm making money from trade, I am happy. Okay, what have we got going on here? Brandenburg accepted peace from their former enemies, the Livonian Order. They've got to pay war reparations to Brandenburg for 10 years. Livonian Order will cede Dorpat to Russia and will annul all treaties with Sweden. They'll pay 44 ducats. So Livonian Order is out of the war, which is good for us because they were some of the fleets that were around. Not that they were a massive problem to me, but now the Livonian Order's out, that makes... Is that all Livonian Order have left? Oh no, they've got 3 provinces up here. So they've lost quite a bit of land, I think. I'm sure they had 5 provinces originally. But Livonian Order is quite small now. We've got another self-sustaining colony. Let's go ahead and deal with that. Fantastic. So now we actually have all of Florida. So are we going to start working on some of these internal provinces? I think we should. Do any of these have good tax bases? Now, the tax bases don't affect me directly, because obviously I'm giving these to my vassals, but, well, to my colonial nations. But what is good is that I get a percentage of any money they earn. Alternatively, I could actually move over to one of these provinces and start trying to grab some of these and help build up colonial Mexico. So I think we might go and grab Wichita. That's a tax base of 3. Let's go and do that. You've got a bit of a journey, I'm afraid, but you should be able to get there probably before the colonist arrives. So that's fine. I see Portugal still have this 16 stack sitting around in London, who have been black flagged for like centuries and still haven't moved. So coalition hasn't fired yet. That aggressive expansion is burning away, although not particularly quickly. Don't think we're ever going to be friends with a lot of these other people. Venice actually quite like me, although Venice has been mainly destroyed. They've got a few little random provinces around, but because Treviso has been claimed by the Papal State, then the actual Venice capital is kind of isolated a little bit there. Another colony has become self-sustaining, and they're all happening at the same time here. So where do we want to go from here? Do we want to go down there? Tax base of 1, 1, 1. Yeah, I think we'll go down here. Main reason I'm doing it this way is I'm trying to isolate a lot of the Native Americans. It doesn't really matter about the Native Americans that have... Well, that's Norwegian Mexico, actually. So it'd be nice to isolate them to stop them from being able to grow. But the Native American tribes, particularly if they only have one... province. If they only have one province, they can migrate and move to a neighbouring province. So I'm just trying to block off bits of the map at the moment. So Riga has accepted peace from Brandenburg. They'll pay war reparations as well. They're not ceding anything, but that's fine. That gives Russia some more aggressive expansion. It's also worth bearing in mind as well that one of the reasons possibly that I think they're going to come down to deal with their own rebels. It certainly looks like they're on the way down yet. Another one of the reasons why this coalition has formed is because we have allies in Brandenburg and the Commonwealth. But because Brandenburg and the Commonwealth are both involved in wars, that means that people like Austria are thinking, well, if we go and attack France, Brandenburg and the Commonwealth are going to be too busy to jump in. Lose 40 ducats for some settler increase. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. I'm more than happy to do that. Now, we won't build those trade buildings, but I didn't come back and sort out any buildings in my own territories, which I probably should have done. Courthouses are good. Are there any unique buildings that we can still build? We can build a glorious monument. We can build the Admiralty. It would give us another leader without Udkeep. Udkeep? Yes, a leader without Udkeep. Let's go ahead and get one of those. Let's go and get you in Normandy, because that's mainly where we build everything. That's going to use a lot of our money. But it would be nice to be able to... This will go away. The only reason we can have this free military leader is because we've got more than 25 power projection. Yeah, leaders without upkeep +1. If we drop below 25 power projection, then that will go away. But it does mean that we'll be able to have a few more. What have we got going on here? No, I don't want to select that one. Just want these guys and those guys, actually. Let's move you in. So the question is now, and I'm not doing a very good job of saving money. Our royal marriage with Brandenburg has ended, but we can go ahead and sort that out. In fact, let's go ahead and do it right now before we forget. So, dynastic actions, royal marriage. Okay. That's gone through. Let's go ahead and just make sure we get this fleet all grouped together. Mothballed. Now, the question now is, do I actually want to upgrade any of my fleets before building more? I think what I'd like to do is, first of all, get the Gulf of St. Lawrence fleet done first. I think that's what I want to do. Get them up to a full 60, and then we'll start upgrading the other ones. That seems to make the most sense to me. What about you guys? Needs to be in one of my ports. Royal marriage with the Commonwealth has ended. We've got a couple of very old transports here. Although all we're doing is using them to move the odd unit around. I don't necessarily think that we need to upgrade those guys because they're kind of redundant. They're just here in case I need to move somebody around, so I'm not too bothered about those. Commonwealth royal marriage has ended. Let's go ahead and make sure that we get that going. And our relationships with the Commonwealth aren't all that great either. Our improved relations is down to 46, so we will go and improve relations from the 3rd of October when we can go and send somebody else there. Commonwealth is having a lot of trouble with the Ottomans right now. I could go in and attempt to help there. I'm not necessarily sure that I would be able to get through. We lose a stability. Fantastic. Because why not? Let's have a random stability drop because sure. I'm going to go instantly back in, and that's a lot to spend actually because we're already at positive stability. I'm going to do it anyway. I like being at +3. I've spent most of the game sat at +3. Let's stay there. Let's go ahead with these guys. No, we can't actually get to the Commonwealth, unfortunately, because we can't actually get through anywhere. It would have been nice if I could have moved those guys through. We might have actually had a chance to attack and deal with the Ottomans here. What's the Ottomans' actual military tech going on? 19. And what's mine? 21. If I could get open borders through somewhere, even if I can get open borders through Würzburg, which they probably won't because they're part of the coalition. No, they definitely won't let me through. Munster won't let me through either. Holland won't let me through. Austria won't let me through. I'm kind of stuck here unless I want to use a transport fleet. That's Brandenburg, actually. If Holland would let me through... No, Holland don't like me either. So I would like to come and help the Commonwealth, but no one will actually let me through. So unless I want to actually use ships to get there, which is a little bit risky, because I'd have to sort of come around here and land in Brandenburg, which I could do, I suppose. Ah, now it looks like a fight over here that Brandenburg might actually win. Austria seems to be involved in a fight as well. Austria are also fighting against the Ottomans. That's good. So the Commonwealth, yeah, the Austrians are actually, they're not in the same war, but they're fighting against the same enemy. So the Ottomans are actually going to get driven back by Austria. And that's good for me, because while Austria is busy fighting the Ottomans, they're much less likely to trigger the coalition against me. So that is very, very good. Saving up a lot of money. So let's go ahead and do what we said we were going to do and finish that trade fleet. We'll wait for the Admiralty. That'll give us more yearly Navy tradition as well. We can't improve our relations anymore with Bavaria. That's fine, it's understandable. Let's go and see if we can suck up to Holland a little bit. Not that I want to make friends with any of these guys. I'm not trying to get into a position where I can vassalize them or royal marry them or anything. It's just they do take your... they do take their... how much they like you into consideration as whether or not they're going to be part of the coalition. Again, we'll spend the money for the settler increase. So, Bavaria are still in the coalition against me. At least I believe they are. Yeah, they're in a coalition against France. But currently, they actually... they view me as a natural ally against other nations who threaten them. So... they may drop out of the coalition soon. What we could potentially do... what's my relations at? I am below a relation. We could go ahead and potentially try and ally Bavaria. Because I'm not going to move in... I'm not going to move into the HRE in that direction. We'll probably move up and try and take Holland. And maybe move down and try and take Milan into Italy. I would like to take some more out of Austria. But certainly Bavaria isn't going to be an immediate threat. Now, would they accept an alliance? They actually would. I'm going to offer them an alliance right now. And they've accepted. I'm also going to go ahead and offer them a royal marriage. Now, the problem that you do have, of course, with getting more and more alliances, it means you might get dragged into more and more wars, which is always the possibility. But it's, they're actually offering me the royal marriage. It's fantastic. It means I don't have to wait for my diplomat. Now, it's strange that they're actually... now, call for peace. The war is won. The war indeed is won, but I'm not the one... Which war is this? The Commonwealth Reconquest of Yedishkul. Is that war really won? I'd have thought it was this war that we were out of time on. Yeah, come on, Brandenburg. You can get them to peace out. Our Conquistador is dead. Now, our Conquistador was the one that was over here. So now we're two military leaders down, which is interesting. I would like to grab another military leader. I don't necessarily know that we need to get one right now because we're not actually in a war. Well, we are in a war, but we're not actually fighting anybody directly. We will wait a little while. Hopefully, Brandenburg will peace out soon. As it said, the war is won. There's no reason why they shouldn't just... they're probably going to get up to 100% war score. We're actually starting to claw back a little bit in the war against the Crimea. So it all looks like it's going well. The call for peace is not good, but I'm going to stay in until the end. But that's probably a good point to end the video. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Europa Universalis IV. And I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.